Hello everyone, it's Dr. Stock, and I just want to say, first of all, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Second of all, I have some things in this video for you that I think are going to make for a Happy New Year. So I have big technicals coming up on Bitcoin and what we could potentially see, some potential load zones that we have. Will we see a bottom now, or is it going to keep on falling? What do the next price levels look like if we get that bullish bounce coming off of Bitcoin? And I believe that we will sometime in the near future. By the way, the technicals that I share with you about Bitcoin and the other crypto I'm going to talk about, this one, XRP, I have the technicals ready to go for you. Both of those technicals are already available over at the Discord. As I record this video, they're already over there. You can access my private Discord through the Patreon. The link's down in the description. Click that, sign up, and head on over to the Discord and check out those technicals. Also, check out that link for Stockmo Academy, where you can learn to do these technicals yourself and get access to the bread recipe trading strategy developed by Stockmo, used by Stockmo and myself. Also, people learning how to set that up in that course, putting out tons of testimonials about how easy it is to use and how effective it is for trading. Even my cat here, Benjamin, who keeps on jumping up on my lap during videos, even he loves it. Let's move on from there into the charts for this thing. So let's kick things off with Bitcoin. And what do we see just looking at the moving averages on the daily chart for Bitcoin today? Down about 4%, back down to the 50, which is this pink line that's up through here. This is the 50 period simple moving average, as opposed to the exponential moving average, which is actually a little bit lower. I believe I'll pop it up there just for a quick second. Yeah, it is just a little bit lower than that, probably around 92, 93,000. But right now, critical support for that 50. If that holds for 1, 2, 3, the fourth time, that can be something that's very bullish for us. We could see that bounce. We could see that return to 100,000 plus. Moving on from there, and I'll put up the technicals for you following, by the way, just trying to give you a stripped down view of this thing. Now, mind you, the 200-day is also right in the middle of a critical support zone between 70 and 72,000, which I'll also show you those levels in just a moment. So from where we're at right now, critical support, including the 50-period moving average, and then we also have something down around 85,000, which is near our previous breakout moment. So like I said, I had that available over the Discord, and even when we put those technicals up here, you can start to see some of the cleaned up lines that I have on here for you. So 95 to 92, which we're just barely south of as of the recording of this video. We need to bounce here and get back up on top of the 20 at that shot at that 107,000 mark, which is a critical resistance for us that we hit last time. If that gets broken, that can push us up to 127,000, and then up above that, 143, up above that, 153,000 if we take that bullish bounce. Now, mind you, I think from here, 107 with a bounce, 108,000, 108,000 would be about right. So just for that push up, we could see that level easily happening, get up above the 20-day, which is the line in blue along here. Like I said, 107, 108, easy. Getting up above that previous all-time high is going to be absolutely massive. Sitting on top of this line as support for the first time ever is going to be highly critical to see further upside. If we can get a full candle to sit on top of 107,739 with the subdued RSI that we have right now, which is just below 50, which is near-term bearish. Now, mind you, weekly chart, back into regular bullish territory, out from overbought. We've had the cooling period over time, so we could see that ramp coming off of that. You can also see down below this 618 and also this 1 Fibonacci retrace our extension levels that are on here. These are also going to be critical support for us. We also have about 79,000, but I think more importantly down here, 70 to 72,000 is about where we could really start to see that critical support come in. So if we had some sort of massive sell-off that took us down, we would have a huge load zone around 85,000 and another huge load zone around 70 to 72,000, and then it just take a bullish rip of a bounce from there. That would certainly give us some more cooling on a monthly basis, take us from the RSI of north of 70 overbought down to something more on the 50 to 70 range, and then setting us up for that next big move. Now, mind you, time frame wise, what do I see for Bitcoin? So if Bitcoin does break support, and it can between now and the inauguration on January the 20th, we want to be watching for those days. Like I said, expect any amount of drama to take place politically. This isn't a political channel. I don't really talk about politics unless it comes to anything in the financial markets, including crypto. And we know that Trump has been pro-crypto in the past several months. So that could actually lead to some uncertainty as we watch for what exactly happens, Bitcoin strategic reserve, and then also how XRP ties into all of that. These are all things that we absolutely want to be watchful for what exactly could take place for Bitcoin. There could be that doubt that comes in and that uncertainty leading up to that inauguration that gives us more of a depressed price action for Bitcoin. Now, mind you, we could also see the stock market itself be something that if the stock market itself goes risk off for whatever reason, maybe that first week of January that we get unfavorable reports that lean towards recession when we start to see non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. As that worry comes off, if that worry comes off and it really still looks like economic strength and we don't have significant loosening in labor market conditions, that non-farm stays strong, unemployment stays steady, that's going to be big. So time frame wise, we have next week, and then we also have after that up to the inauguration. So there's our window between now and the inauguration, especially where next week is involved when it comes to stock market and economic news. I think next week is that time. So by next Friday, so that would be January the 3rd, if I'm doing my math right on that one, we want to be watchful for what happens with non-farm payrolls, with unemployment, and also beyond that, we can also get news for ISM manufacturing and ISM services. That's going to be a big impact as well. Not as much, I don't believe, as what we get for non-farm and what we get for the unemployment rate. We also need to be watchful for the CPI around mid-January and the PPI. As those come out and give us inflation numbers, that's going to be huge as well. I've talked about that in my previous videos. The inauguration, I think, is that last big thing. So actually between now and January the 20th is the critical window for crypto. That what I would love to see from a bullish standpoint is I would love to see the price the price subside a little bit, especially if we pulled all the way back to that 200-day. I think that would set up for just a rocket ship with some very strong upside and outperformance for Bitcoin. And I think it would be like a whip effect with what we would have moving into the altcoins that would put in, we could see a bigger drawdown with the altcoins that are out there, but then also with that huge mass just moving for Bitcoin, that energy that we would get from that would transfer into the smaller mass sizes by market cap, if you want to follow that analogy, into those altcoins and cause a whip effect to happen and really catalyze those into some higher prices. So between now and January the 20th, I'm going to stick with it. So for Bitcoin, down as low as 72,000. We also want to watch support around 85,000. That's if this critical support breaks, and we are at critical support right now. I want to keep putting that out there that we could bounce from this level and put in more new all-time highs, and that would be a great thing. Now, mind you, if we pull back harder, I still think we hit those same all-time highs. I think that we could still move up to that $127,000+ per BTC in the very near future. We'll say between now and the end of January, for example, could be that window if we have favorable market conditions, both crypto market and stock market, those working in tandem with each other, could be something that would really give us a very strong movement for crypto itself. Now, mind you, if we dip harder in there, we would still have that outperformance come and just be even stronger than what we'd have right now. So we could have a 20% movement, or if we pulled back to about 70,000 and then we saw from there, that'd be like a 70% movement, by the way, plus, I would say. So it's actually closer to 130,000, over 70,000, so 60,000. So we'll call it like a 70 to 80% move if we pull back all the way down to about where the 200-day is at right now. So you guys can take your pick, and you can be as bullish or as bearish as you want to be. I think that the overall sentiment from the moving averages that we have, from the environment that we find ourselves in, I think right now we're in very bullish territory. Do you want 20% performance on that, or is it something you want 70 to 80% performance on that? For me, I would definitely love to see that 70 to 80% performance, and through what we see with the stock market and some sort of leverage plays like options, we could go in there, we could really capture some serious upside from that if we get that pretty hard pullback from here. So what sort of trade would be appropriate? Now, mind you, not financial advice. These are just my thoughts for what I might do for myself. Is I might actually take a strangle position. I'm going to put this cat down on the ground. There was no pure coincidence, by the way. I said strangle and picked up the cat. Love that guy to death. I'm not going to harm him. He does put his claws in me. That hurts a lot. But with those plays, a strangle for right now for the volatility could be something that would actually prove to be fairly beneficial. Now, mind you, a strangle, put your hands together like this. And then what you have in here, this would be the difference in your strike prices with your long play. Oh, actually, I guess let me stay away from long and short because with options it's a little bit weird, but this would be the span that you would have between your put strike and your call strike. And so you can also do a straddle, by the way, if you think about straddling a fence like this, where you have the put and the call strikes at the same place and you play for either direction with those plays. So for me, I'm considering a strangle play from right now. I'm going to put those buys and sells out over at the Discord available through the Patreon. I like to use BITO. In order to make those plays, you can also choose MicroStrategy that's out there. Now, mind you, again, not financial advice, just things that I think about outside of just Bitcoin itself or crypto itself. But in the stock market, where could we get that sort of price action happening? So Bitcoin ETFs are a place where you might see some of that. The crypto miners that are out there, MicroStrategy, as it continues to accumulate, Bitcoin would be huge for that. So guys, I'm going to move into XRP. Now, mind you, I'm just cooking up the technicals on XRP. They're available already over at the Discord. Now, mind you, besides the technicals, I think that the technicals are highly intriguing and I share those with you. I got to tell you, Stockmo, who is a personal friend of mine, is like a brother to me, best man at my wedding and everything. I'll tell you what, to see him so excited about the potential for XRP, it really gets my attention because out of all the times that I've seen him really super excited about something to this level, it really does merit my attention. So what I'm doing is then taking a look at XRP, seeing what the technicals are suggesting right now, and we really are at a very interesting and critical point, maybe even more so than what we see for Bitcoin. Now, mind you, I think that Bitcoin could be that big signal with its direction for the direction of XRP, but I still think we're in very much bullish territory for that with some significant upside that could take place, something that could be from the price action right now, something where we could see about a 50% upside up to like 100% upside according to the technicals that are on the charts. Like I said, available at the Discord. So if you want to see these early, where you can take advantage of these pretty much as soon as I put them out, that you can count them as part of your due diligence so that you can make your own decisions, as I never tell you what to buy or sell. You can find that in Discord available. Link in the description for the Patreon. Use that. And like I said, for Stockmo Academy, if you want to learn how to trade, look for when those movements are going to happen. You could do so through that link for Stockmo Academy. Use the code word DOCTOR when you sign up, DOC2R. It's going to give you a massive discount. All right, so here's XRP. What do I notice when I look at this on the daily chart? The RSI is right pretty much at about 50, coming down to 50. That can be where we can find an enormous bounce coming in. That can be huge, where we see that cooling down from that rapid rise that you see in this long overbought period that started, let me see, about November the 10th and subsided on, it's like a full month, basically, of this rapid bullishness for XRP. And then we see this cooling period here, down below the 20, but still above the 50 and 200 days. We're still well into bullish territory with momentum that is no longer an overbought state, but actually on that borderline between bullish and bearish. We could see a bounce from here. Now, mind you, these moving averages don't necessarily suggest it, but look at the Fibonacci extensions and look at this buildup that you have with the buying pressure from the long wicks associated with what you have from the Fibonacci extension levels. This together shows us a very critical area of support that we keep falling onto and yet keep on failing to really hold in a broken state, whether it's one where you had a big red candle day, green candle day, you name it, we keep on finding support in this area. If that continues to be the case, well, we have a bounce that can put us back up towards the 270 area, 280, where we start to look at maybe even 290, that all-time high. Up above there, we have some critical resistance that really starts to build up, starting at about 318 and going up to about 343. 343 being the next most critical, and then after that, about $4 per XRP when compared to the US dollar. So we could have that next leg of the massive run happening for XRP in the very near future. We'll have to watch for that. But guys, just look for a moment. Let me stretch this out a little bit so you can really pay attention to the price action in association with the Fibonacci extensions that are on here. Look at these free rise areas that you have. These are the big black areas between all the green extension levels that you see on here. And you can see all this trading that we've had between support and resistance going all the way back from December the 2nd through today, which is December the 26th as I record this. We could potentially see that support hold and send us back up to all-time highs. That 20 period is going to be limiting for us. As you can see, it's been acting as resistance going all the way back to December the 19th. So one full week of resistance at that 20 period. If support holds and if we can push back up above there, watch the 20-day. That'll be the signal that we could push up higher. Watch Bitcoin to maybe see an early indicator for that price action. Not necessarily something you can always count on, but it could definitely happen. So if we do happen to break that support, again, if we get a full candle below, which you'll notice we haven't gotten that on a daily basis. None of these three long wicks down below, all of them suggest buying pressure as we go south of about 211. So be watchful for that. If we get a full candle below 211, watch for the 50-day coming up, coinciding with the next area of support from like $1.70 to $1.77. And then down below that, looks like $1.37 to $1.45. Now, mind you, I think this 50-day with the big excitement that we have with XRP, I think that'd be the limiting area of support that you would see if we fall down through that. If we were to hit $1, that'd be the 200-day, which that would be, I don't know, that's an awfully big cut from where we're at right now. I think the 50-day is the bigger indicator. And you can just see we'd have to fall down through. Think about like panes of glass and just like trying to break our fall. Like we already catch a lot of the momentum of falling here. We lose a lot more momentum of falling here and a lot more there. And then we'd still have to tumble down through several more layers of glass, if you will, like how soon before it finally breaks our fall and we find support at those glass layers. Now, mind you, we could find it here. We don't know yet. We are getting lower highs so far. We're also still getting higher lows, which means consolidation for right now. So it is also possible. Let me snag this ray tool right here, and we'll do this. That could be limiting for us to the upside. Let's also do this and click the bottom of this and do that for the bottom side. Now, mind you, that's 2 touches and 2 touches. We want to look for 3 touches because you can find a trend across any 2. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's confirmed by the 3rd touch. So going back to either your algebra class, I'm a math teacher by my profession, by the way. I have 17 years in education and earned a doctorate in education, and in mathematics is my subject of choice. So for this, those 2 touches through any 2 points lies exactly one straight line. It's that 3rd collinear point that you get that confirms that line. So we want to be watchful. Will we come down, break support, and hit this line? If we do and find support there, that can be a 3rd touch confirming the support that we have. And this would be one heck of a bull pennant formation, by the way. And if that's the case, then we can really start to look for the length of this flagpole being the thing that shows us just from that breakout moment where it would go. And that could take us very high up from here. So if we break out up to this side at all, that could easily show us that $4 mark, just so that you guys are aware of that one. So from a technical standpoint for XRP, even though I don't have the work up on the fundamentals and the what's driving the back end of this, or what's that big push that we have, I know that there's some tie with Trump, and Stockmo is really excited about it, and I mean just a massive bull on that. Me bullish from the technicals that are here, and then also having some indications that I should probably do more due diligence to see what exactly is pushing the price for XRP. What's the big catalyst besides that run that we've gotten in Bitcoin recently? There's got to be something besides the technicals that are driving this as hard as it is, and I want to know what that thing is so I know exactly what to look for outside of the technicals. What outside influences do we have that are really going to impact this besides the crypto market? What is going on in the background for XRP that drives it? If you guys have some knowledge on that, feel free to share it down in the comments. Or if you have some indications, hey, Dr. Stock, maybe focus your attention here, go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I'm going to be putting my research to work towards XRP to find out, hopefully before any sort of breakout moment happens, what exactly to expect from here and just how high this thing could go, that I could give that overall big picture view of XRP and where I think that it could go. Maybe it will align with what Stockmo sees, and it's something that is wildly bullish. Maybe it goes counter to that, and I think that there's some real concerns where it could pull back on that, but I won't know until I do that research. And like I said, if you guys have some of that already done and you have some things that you would like to share, absolutely use the comment section in order to do that. Now, mind you, that same time frame that I gave for Bitcoin is the same time frame that I see right now between now and January the 20th for XRP. I think that could be a massive window where we start to watch for that to happen. And now, mind you, if we go drama free by the time the inauguration happens, that moment in and of itself could be a big bullish moment. We won't know. It's a big black box, honestly. From here on out, we can just kind of see some of the potential influences, the potential catalysts that we have between now and then, and just some things that we know to watch out for. But then there's all that unforeseen stuff in between, where's the actual price action, the actual goings on to find out what's really happening. Guys, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much. If you haven't already checked out the link for the Patreon down in the description to see my technicals and my buys and sells over at the Discord, you should. That link Like I said, it's there waiting for you. And that link for Stockmo Academy, when you do sign up, use the code word Doctor, DOCTOR, for a massive discount. Join that community that's over there as well to learn about technical analysis trading. And then you can also get access to the bread recipe, which can help to indicate to you when these next big moves are happening up or down, and being able to trade in ways that's going to really benefit your portfolio. The people who have signed up, I believe it's in the thousands at this point in time, are raving about the success that they're having with the bread recipe, how easy it is to use, and how just effective it is at generating those returns in your portfolio. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.